All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. All right, first off, I want to say Shalom to the ones that push this word out in truth and in sincerity, which are the apostles and elders on down to the brothers. And Shalom to the ones that endured this faith until the very end, until the time of Jacob's trouble, which are again the apostles and elders on down to the brothers and a few sisters. All right, so Shalom. So, I want to do this, quick video, just, you go through things like YouTube shorts and stuff like that. You watch these, these scientists, they try to debunk every single thing that, and half of them scientists be Jake. I recently did a video, I think a year ago, actually. So not that recent, but is Jake asking where did, who created God? Half of the times it be Jake who want to have these scientific explanations on things. The floating cities. They say that that's a mirage of the moisture in the atmosphere and light hitting different layers of the. That's something that they always do. And half of them be our own people. Now a lot of Jake would say that most things that's scientifically out there, they say that it's not really proven, which in a sense, even though we don't be over righteous when it comes to this, right? Especially when we're in the truth. You got Jake that's in the truth. They'll say, I don't know, they don't know, if those are even planets out there or what's out there, which in some degree they kind of do, right? Now they don't know everything, literally everything, right? They don't know a lot because these rulers of darkness, man, they're still not on the level of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai or his angels, right? They're not on that level, right? Because some things we really just don't need to know, because that's thinking higher above, your strength. But the Lord, again, we say this all the time, man. The Lord has blessed, this man with the sword, right? And through that, what is his sword, right? The destruction, his power structure, even the intelligence, right? You're talking about a caveman who used to live in caves, right? The rocks and the clefts of Petra. But look at today. Look at all this stuff that they made. Yes, through us, but at the same time, still, right? They still launch things into space. They still are able to capture things of like other planets. What now? Will they ever be able to go inside of I don't know, Jupiter? No. Right? Because again, they're not on that level. But the Lord has still blessed them with the sword, right? To know certain things, right? To discover certain things. Now, this is Job 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right? So the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Meaning what? The Lord gave the earth unto the rulers of darkness, right? They own this place, right? They own this planet at the moment, right? Through Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? They believe in Satan. They sit at the table and they have Satan there. The Lord got them in a trick bag. They think that Satan, is telling them that they're going to win, right? That they can discover everything that they want. Why do you think they messing with them CERN projects? Right? Because at the end of the day, all the things that they know is going to be irrelevant, right? All the things that they try to find in the ocean, right? They can't. That's another thing. They can't even find, everything in the ocean. So what makes you think that they're going to try to get inside of a planet or something like that, or go way too far out there? They can't. But only to a certain degree that they can understand things, because why? They was given the sword, right? A lot of brothers and Jake, in the truth, when that sickness or plagues came out, they started saying that it wasn't real or that it was a fake plague, right? But a lot of brothers caught it, right? And a lot of people caught it. A lot of people actually did die from it, right? You have brothers in the truth, that passed from it, right? This is why we say, man, just because, he's our enemy, that don't mean that, we be over righteous and say literally everything that he discovers or something, or everything as his weapons or things like that, it's all fake. His bioweapons, like the sicknesses, is all fake, because the Lord created it anyway through the rulers of darkness, right? So it's still of the Lord, right? If it's a weapon, even if it's artificially made, it's still of the Lord because the Lord created it. It's still a weapon, right? If this man goes out there and has some satellites posted out there, and this man learns a bunch of things that's what's out there, well, the information was still put out there, right? Either way, it's still of the Lord, and the Lord created it, right? Why? Again, because this man was blessed with the sword temporarily until what? Revelation 12 and 12 happened, right? Because he know that he have but a short time. So this is Genesis 27 and 40. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? So again, this man got a yoke upon our neck. Not everything is going to be, fake or, think about it. Even in school, I had to be in school. I recently just graduated. When you're in school or even with work, you still gotta follow the laws of this place. You still gotta live peaceably, right? You gotta comply. Don't be like them niggas that was screaming Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai being dragged out the car by the police, right? You don't do that, right? Because we're still under the law and we still gotta conduct ourselves in a certain manner, right? As righteous men through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Right? We still have that yoke of iron upon our necks. We ain't gonna be like the Black Panthers, we'd be like everything fake, the virus fake, everything else is gonna be fake. This man don't know nothing. Yes, he does know a lot, right? What does a devil mean? Right? Or a demon. Right? Devil is intelligence, right? But also accuser. But this man has a lot of intelligence because the Lord has blessed him with that. And that is a weapon against us. Right? So yes, we still got that yoke of iron upon our necks. We're not going to be like the Black Panthers who failed and tried to infiltrate like Malcolm X did. And what happened with that? They failed. People can't even raid Area 51. That's why the Lord said, wait upon me. So it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. Right? So it says wherewith his father blessed him. Right? So again, this man was blessed with the sword. It says, and these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother as touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. Right? So this man has a lot of hatred towards us. Right? And that's pretty much the whole plot of the story. Right? All we're in right now is the Lord's play. Right? Who's going to do anything about that? Right? The Lord set up this man to be in power. To know the things that he does, to have a high intelligence. What are we going to do against that? Right? Because again, if you start fighting against, now of course, we're out here going against the society. But yeah, it was that one scripture. But pretty much if you start going against, the authority, you're going against the Lord. So again, this man wants to kill us. And that's the way that the Lord has it set up. You know, you go into a movie or acting industry, you know, you got to play by the script. That's what we got to do until, you know, we get the hell up out of here. So, by the Lord's word, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakah HaKodash, and Shalom.